So I'm going to give you my top 4 guaranteed issue final expense carriers as of May 2021. If you're looking for guaranteed issue carriers to work with, these are going to be the best ones, at least in my opinion, whenever you run across your final expense life insurance prospect. So let's take it away. Greetings and salutations. It's David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. If you happen to enjoy this kind of material, I do lots of videos. Please make sure you subscribe and like. I appreciate it. So let's jump right in. So we're talking about guaranteed issue final expense carriers. In fact, my top 4 that I think do a really good job of helping our final expense prospects get quality, affordable, guaranteed issue final expense coverage. So first of all, in case you don't know or you're brand new, guaranteed issue just means no health questions asked. As long as the client can competently sign an application, meaning they're of sound mind, then they're approved for coverage. The drawback with any guaranteed issue type of policy is there's always a 2-year wait. In most cases, sometimes with certain carriers that I don't like, there's a 3-year plus waiting period until they're fully covered for natural and accidental death. That first 2 years, if they were to die, the money's refunded to the beneficiary, usually plus 10% interest. And in the case the client died by accident, they would be paid 100% from the first day. About 25% of your final expense business thereabouts is going to be guaranteed issue. So it's really important and imperative that you've got some good guaranteed issue carriers in your bag of tricks. So let's jump right in and cover the ones that I think are best suited for the final expense agent, whether you're face-to-face or over the phone. So if you're a face-to-face agent, I think the best carrier to have for guaranteed issue is AIG, American General. They've been around a good bit in the business of guaranteed issue for a number of years now. And one of the reasons I like them, simply put, is based on at least my agency, they pay more commission than the other carriers I'm about to mention. They also have pretty competitive prices for guaranteed issue. They're available from 50 years old to 80 years old. And they've got a convenient e-app, so if you're in person with the client, you can get it signed and completed very easily, or you can still do a paper app if you're an old dinosaur that refuses to adapt with the times. Make sure you understand with AIG, and this is true of another company that, not a favorite of mine, a Gerber, that if your client dies within the first 2 years, you're going to get a full chargeback if the client dies. It's just the way it is. So you kind of get an advance commission that's contingent for the next 2 years. I've never seen this being a problem with AIG or any company, and I would know. I've contracted thousands of agents to this point, and I've never had any roll-ups from AIG as far as chargeback goes that I have to pay for because an agent didn't pay and it rolled up to me. But I have with other carriers. So I guess what I'm saying with AIG is I feel pretty safe, even though there's that chargeback period that's kind of frustrating as far as writing business with them. So I figured I'd throw that out to you just so you know. But for me personally, it never was a big deal. One other thing too with AIG is if you qualify, they do give a 50% advance on issue. And they do take not only checking and savings account, but debit cards like your Direct Express, your Chime card, NetSpend, and so on. All right, number 2 on the list is Great Western. I really like Great Western. It's one of my favorite final expense guaranteed issue carriers. It actually is a pretty good hand in glove peanut butter and jelly carrier with AIG. It does things that AIG doesn't and is good if you're a face-to-face agent. And it's especially good if you're an over-the-phone agent. In fact, it's the only true guaranteed issue carrier I recommend if you sell over the phone. So just some quick highlights on how Great Western works. It has a 40 to 80-year-old availability range for its guaranteed issue product. They do have a level product that's 50 to 80 with them, but we don't write the level product, just the guaranteed issue product. The minimum face amount's $1,000, the maximum's $40,000. By the way, AIG is $5,000 to $25,000, so they kind of are useful when the client wants less than $5,000 or more than $25,000 to use Great Western. The pricing on Great Western is a little bit higher, but what Great Western has is kind of a unique little advantage. It does give you the ability to be chargeback free after 12 months if your client dies. So unlike AIG, like I explained a moment ago, you're free from chargebacks, God forbid, if your client dies within the first year, or basically the second year of the policy with Great Western. And that's useful because if you end up putting clients with any kind of guaranteed issue carrier, you know that their health isn't that great. And the more protection you get, the better. Some drawbacks with Great Western. They do charge back if the client lapses within the first 3 months. They do have an advance of 50% if you qualify on issue. And there's a maximum advance cap of, I believe, $600. You get paid your full commission, but they won't advance any more than $600 up front. So number 3 on the list here is Guaranteed Trust Life. It's not a true guaranteed issue carrier, but it's like a near guaranteed issue carrier. And the reason I include it here is because it pairs up so well with either using Great Western or AIG for your guaranteed issue preferred carrier. Why is that the case? Because they cover things that normally would end up being guaranteed issue, like congestive heart failure or heart attacks within the last 12 months. It's such a useful carrier that I absolutely think every single agent face-to-face or over the phone should handle it. It's got a very convenient e-app face-to-face, and if you're over the phone, there's a quick 2 or 3 minute call-in to get the approval done. GTL does not do an MIB or prescription check at the time of filming, which means if your client can honestly answer no to everything, they're approved. You don't have to worry about what is underwriting going to say or anything like that. So it just makes life a lot easier having this carrier, whereas, with Great Western or AIG, the downside is there's a 2-year wait, but with Guaranteed Trust Life, the nice thing about it, I don't think I mentioned this, kind of a big deal, is in the second year, you get half the face amount. So if you had a $10,000 plan in the start of year 2, you got $5,000. So if you imagine writing a policy on your grandma or your mom, what would you do? Put them in a 2-year wait or GTL that will give you more coverage faster. Of course, if you love your mom or your parents, hope you do, you put her with GTL. And that's why I like using this company. It comes in so handy. A lot of my agents write it. If you're not writing it out there and you're an independent agent, you're missing out. And you're likely going to get replaced by good independent agents who carry GTL, because they allow replacements, and your 2-year wait that's unnecessary might end up getting the boot. So the last product that I'm going to mention here is a super secret one that I'm actually going to include in a link below. It is a guaranteed issue term insurance product that's available from age 18 to age 75, I believe. And it is a fantastic product, especially if you're under the age of 40 with some sort of condition that just won't get accepted with some of those under 40 final expense carriers. It's fantastic. And if you guys want more information on how it works, I'm going to include it in the link below. The reason I'm like being all hush-hush about it is the way they want me to explain this product is just to let the product page in the video explain it itself. That way you can get all the accurate information. So that's kind of the setup. So just go click the link. You'll see it below. And then if you're interested in this guaranteed issue term carrier, it's really cool. It's an absolute must, I think, in certain situations to pick up. So please check that out. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of this video. I think these guaranteed issue carriers are all great to have. Bottom line, if you're face-to-face, I would carry at least AIG and GTL. And if you're over the phone, I would carry at least Great Western and GTL. Ultimately, if you're face-to-face, I would get all 3 eventually. But starting with these 2 that I just mentioned in either capacity, you're going to be well equipped to handle any guaranteed issue type of case. My name is David DeFord, owner of DeFord Insurance Group. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this content, subscribe and like the video. If you got comments on any guaranteed issue carriers, leave them below. Happy to hear you. And thank you, as always, for watching. See you next time.